Hello. Welcome back to my channel, Marissa Gone. I am Marissa, and today we're going to get going in consistency, options. Also, Biscuit is here. Look at her. She says hi. But before we get into the video, I want to encourage you to go ahead and smash that like button. Go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff, and share this video with someone that you think will resonate with this. But getting into this video, something that's been on my mind heavy for like the last 3 days now is the many options that we have with making money online, and then just being consistent with it, like just sticking with it. And that goes back to my video that I made a while ago, like not even a while, like a few videos ago, of just like stick with plan A. Nothing else matters. And that literally reigns so true right now. I think with all this freedom of time that I have, I want to explore every facet that I can with making money online. And there's so many ways. And now, because you just watch one video, your algorithm wants to pick it up and show you even more. And so each day I'm like now exposed to a new idea, a new way to earn income online without leaving your house. And it's really amazing. It's truly amazing on the different ways that people can earn money from working at home. If you choose to not go to the 7 a.m., the 8 a.m. meetings to do the traffic and to work. Currently, and this is something that my boyfriend said, I have the privilege and spoiled with the option of staying at home and working from home. Because every time that I keep saying it is like, I don't want to get back into the traditional workforce of the 9 to 5, of the meetings in the morning. Like, I don't want to do it. And he said right there, like, because I don't want to, I have the privilege and the option to not have to. Like, I don't have to. I'm not using the word I have to. So I thought that was like a good little light bulb right there. So shout out my boyfriend. But he made a really good point of like, I am pretty spoiled with not having, to go back, not having to have to go back. There are other options, and I'm grateful. Honestly, grateful. With all this free time that I've had the last like 6 months now, it's literally been 6 months. For those of you that don't know, go check out my video titled Getting Fired. Like, it literally said getting fired, and lawsuit and everything. But since then, since getting fired, it's really taught me a lot on emotional control and mental strength. And then as far as like physical effort, it really does take a lot of physical effort, because I'm not having to like dress up and go out and do things for other people anymore. Like, that old job that I had was so much driving. Like, the car was basically my office. And now that I don't do that job, I'm so happy and so grateful. I have noticed a huge shift in my stress levels, in my hormones, and the way I carry myself. Like, I'm not as hyper, and like, I don't even know. It was like a mix of being hyper, but also just like stoned. It just wasn't healthy, honestly. It wasn't healthy. And I'm not saying that like I wasn't grateful for all the green grass that we were able to smoke in that free time. Like, that was honestly the best job I've ever had compared to like all the other jobs that I've had. That was literally the best job I've ever had. being in my car, listening to whatever I want, podcasts, music, phone calls, and then obviously like chiefing freely. And then just like the job was really just talking about the product and really selling the product to people that were really engaged. And like being in the dispensary, obviously everyone is here for one thing, and that one thing comes in different ways. Like you can have a drink, a gummy, a chocolate, the pre-rolls, like the actual green flower. And so it's like having all those different options and talking about those options and talking about that product. It was so easy and simple, and then you could be stoned doing it. Like it helped sell it, so to speak. But it was very physically taxing. Very physically taxing, and I think it was definitely due to the driving. I started to realize that the driving took a lot out of me. It was so exhausting. And I think, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, let's talk about it. But I think because driving, you are on high alert. You are looking for threats and danger. Like, is someone going to swerve? Is someone merging without seeing me? Is someone in front of me drunk? Are they having a heart attack? Like, are they keeping up to speed? Like, while you're driving, it's not as chill as like just driving. That job was mostly highway driving. Like all of it was highway driving. There was probably two dispensaries. There still is two dispensaries just down the street from me where it's just like local roads, and like it is more lax and everything. But I saw a statistic where most car accidents happen the closer you are to your house. So even in residential local roads, like you're not safe. You're driving defensively. Everything is a threat. Like even people, you got to watch out for people crossing the street. It's a lot. Driving it's mindless, but at the same time, it's not. And there would be moments or there'd be drives where I'm like so zoned out, obviously from chiefing, that I forgot how I even got here, like muscle memory type shit. And I thank God that I made it there safe. But there were the times where like my tire flattened and I had to pull off on the side of a highway road. Like that was the first time for me ever having a flat tire on the highway. Like my tire literally popped while driving 65 miles per hour on a highway. And every time I passed that point on the highway, because it was literally right around here, I was like 3 exits away from my house. And that shit popped at high speeds, and thankfully like it didn't wobble and everything. It was like a slow leak pop. Like it popped, but it was like not explosive pop where it shredded. It popped and then it just slow leaked until I pulled over to the side of the road. And you have all of these cars just like zooming past you. Oh my God, what a day. What a time. What a time. And now, hindsight of it all, I feel like just the driving aspect of it. There she goes. She leaving us. Just the driving aspect of it all was really what kind of had me tripping, so to speak. To keep it plain and simple, I feel like a lot of my stress and my worry and like my rushing around everywhere was due to all of the driving and the unknown traffic and the accidents that happen like 2 exits in front of you, and now we're like bottlenecked or we're at a complete standstill for 30 minutes. Side note, I won't forget this moment. It was actually the first day I met one of my closest friends in the industry. So shout out her. She knows who she is. But it was very early on in this career of brand ambassador and driving everywhere. Is very early on. I would say it was October because we met at the Halloween pop-up, and I had just started in September. So we're fresh into it, right? And I had to leave. At the time, I was living in Landover, Southern Maryland, and I had to go all the way up to Aberdeen, which is north of Baltimore by like 45 more minutes. So far as hell, damn near 2 hours. And I left 3 hours early. Like, I was giving myself time in case I had to pull over and use the bathroom. I was giving myself time. I was like, this is going to be a nice little 2 hour trip. Let's get to it. My J's were rolled and I left out early. Even though I left out early, I was still 45 minutes late because there was an accident that had happened very close on the highway, on the Beltway, very close to where I was. So I didn't even start driving for more than like 15 minutes before this. And I sat there for 45 minutes and I did have to pee. I did. I don't think I told anyone this story, but whatever. This is an era of redeeming all of my like embarrassed, ashamed stories and moments, and this is one of them. We stood still for about 45 minutes, almost an hour, and I had to fucking pee. I had to pee. Oh my God. Like, I will never forget. I literally felt like my shit was about to just explode. And I could feel it in like my teeth. I don't know about y'all, but like when my nerves are like I don't even know, like going through the most extreme test, my teeth get so sensitive. And so I was like, fuck it. Like, I maneuvered my way from the far left lane to the far right lane because on the right, and this is by like the Greenbelt exit, on the right, there was just trees and like one of those walls. And then there was a huge truck on my left side. There was a car in front and a car behind. I put my car in park. We're already in park, actually. We're already in park. I moved from the driver's seat over to the passenger seat. I opened both of those doors and I squatted, and the rest was history. But I had the wall barrier, so like no one where I was facing was there. Like, it was just a wall and trees, and then no one through like my driver's window or the other side could see there because there was a big ass truck. Like, I was blessed. There was basically two huge walls on the sides of me, so no one could see what I'm doing. But for the people in front and for the people behind, probably not the people in front, no one was standing outside their car, but the person behind probably saw my ass maneuvering over, opening the doors, but no one actually literally saw my ass, is what I'm saying. But that was early on into the driving experience. And from there, I should have known, like, this is not a job for the week. Like, this is intense. And so we finally moved and they pulled the car. I'll never forget because the blood was all over the ground. You saw hair on the ground. They didn't clean up. They just moved the cars because it was all four lanes just closed off for damn near an hour. No one's moving. And I guess like just I don't know, cleanup wasn't there, the tow trucks weren't there, but ambulance had made it. Ambulance took the people gone, like people were gone, but the cars were still there, and like I will never forget, it's like permanently etched in my brain because we all had to, like, to pass the shit, we had to drive over the shit. And I remember now, like, just hearing the glass just crunch underneath my tires and then just driving over the blood, and I started crying. I started crying and praying for their souls because it didn't look like that person made it out alive from that car, because it was a huge Cadillac Escalade, and it had cosmetic front damage to like the fender of it, just the fender. Like, the window was full intact, the door was full intact, the tires were still there. However, that other little car, it was a vintage car. The top was down. It was a beautiful day, and it was like a little tiny, I don't even know what brand, but it was a vintage car, and the top was down. It was little, it was red. it was like a two-seater, like sports car basically, but like a vintage one from like maybe 80s or 70s, like old ass shit. So I'm just thinking like this Cadillac Escalade didn't see the car. I was probably in its blind spot, drove right the fuck into it. And like the driver's seat gone, like the driver's door smashed, the whole driver's side completely destroyed. And then just seeing the blood and the hair is like clearly head trauma. And like they had the top down, so it's just like they had no type of protection over them. It was just straight car, like yeah. And that was yeah, that was my first. And there's been many more after that. In Maryland, the motherfucking Key Bridge went down, which is still a conspiracy. But I remember taking that Key Bridge to get to a lot of dispensaries up in Baltimore, and like it happened at like 4 a.m, like not during regular traffic hours. So it's like the likeliness of anyone being on it, especially for our jobs, is slim, 0%. But there were workers that died because they didn't get off the bridge in time, and that shit was so sad. But the whole bridge just collapsed. The whole bridge just gone. And it's just like, damn, that's like a part of our commute. Like that road is a part of my job. Ah, God, so much. And those two are like the biggest incidents that really stuck out. And there's been other accidents and traffic stories, but like none that stuck out like that. And that goes all back to like the stress of driving. Like it puts you at a high alert, your survival. Everyone is a threat type shit. At least that's how I drive. And also I do drive fast. I have a lot of speeding tickets. So I don't know. I think that's just my car. I drive a 6-cylinder, so it picks up really fast and smooth. And I've always just had a heavy foot. I think that's just how I was raised. My dad always had sports cars, posters up on the walls. His father and him would always work on cars. His father was a mechanic, so he had cars in the garage. Like, I know a little bit about cars, a little. And we would go to car shows. Like, I like cars. I do. I'm not like a car enthusiast or fanatic, but I have my love and my respect for cars and fast cars. So, yeah, the whole driving thing was just like putting my hormones at a level that now I can see where I'm like not at that level anymore. And I still drive, but probably like twice a week to go get groceries and like errands, and then to go hang out with my boyfriend or my sister. Like, that's it. That's really it. And that's literally the same path every day. And it kind of goes all the way back to where I'm at right now. And it's working from home and having a lot of freedom and just staying consistent on that one path. I think for me, I've been kind of overstimulated with how much options there are to create money online or just from home. And it's kind of like diverting a lot of my energy to that. And it's like splitting it up, and each little bucket is now only getting 10% of me. And I had this conversation today also with my boyfriend. And it kind of just like goes back with just stick with that plan A. And like plan A for me has always been sweeter. It has always been my own brand, my own products. And I have been putting time and effort. Like, if you follow me on Instagram, you do see that I am doing events, and I have been very social with the account. But we're going to run ads again. We're going to do it. We're going to run ads. We're going to do it. We're not going to be discouraged. We're going to stay confident. We're going to stay consistent. A little background on running ads. If you don't know what you're doing, don't do it. That's it. Like, go to YouTube University, find a mentor. Honestly, me getting a mentors, being inside of a community where this is all we do is run ads for products has been life changing. Recently, I kind of put a halt on it because I had seen how much money I was spending on these ads, and then seeing that it's not returning kind of discouraged me. I'm not going to lie. And that's where I kind of was like, let me put this on pause and find other things, because I need money to run those ads. And like, where am I going to get that? So that's where we're like looking at all these other ways to make money. But then it's just like, I am now splitting my energy and not giving my brand the full attention that it deserves. And right now, we're like 2 weeks away from Christmas. So right now really is the perfect time for running these ads, because these are gifts. This is the season for these types of products. Yeah, this is not like, jewelry is not solving a problem. And so like solving a problem type products can run all year. Whereas jewelry, this is more of a special occasion, which this is the holidays. So I'm like, I need to get that confidence back. And it's really mindset. Again, it's like, it really is that mindset. It's mentors, it's community, it's having other people have like accountability or check in on your accountability and hold you to it. And thankfully, I pray. Thank God. Thank God for my awareness that I can pray and talk to God and ask God, because God will always provide. I'm like, that's it. And that's another thing that I keep telling myself is like, I do have faith in God. I am very loyal to God. And as long as I remain with those two things, loyalty and faithfulness with God, then we're good. And so I asked God for some more help on this specific task. And you know what God did? God sent me a new friend who is also in this drop shipping space. And she has been checking in with me consistently every day for the last like 5 days now. And we're both working on researching. We're both working on the same things. We're both working on the same things, and we're both checking in with each other. We're both giving each other tools. I will say she's been giving me a lot more tools than I've been giving her. And I told her, like, I want to make her a friendship bracelet, because you have no idea. Like, she really doesn't have any idea of this. But she literally came probably about a day after I really like prayed and asked to God, like, please, I need some more help. And like, she came the day after, and that's God. That's God. Like, God sent me somebody to come and like hold my hand, because I need my hand held sometimes. And I feel like we all do at certain points when we try new things. Biscuit. When we try new things, and then fail at it, we need someone to hold our hand and tell us, like, it's okay. Like, you're supposed to fail. You're supposed to fall. Like, that's what you're supposed to do. Grab my hand and let's get back up. Let's go. And that's where I'm at right now. And I'm super grateful for her. I'm super grateful for God. And I'm super grateful for my business. I'm super grateful for plan A. And that's what it's always been. And that's what it's going to be. Right now we are currently working on posting a YouTube video every single day. And I really feel comfortable with that now. I think my first video that I posted with the life updates of getting fired and everything, I was like, I want to be more consistent, and maybe I'll come on here 3-4 days. But in my algorithm, I've been getting a lot of videos saying that like the more that you're consistent posting on YouTube, the more likely you are to just get paid for posting on YouTube for ads, because they will run ads on your videos. So I'm just getting a lot of feedback, getting a lot of vlogs and other women's testimonies on just posting every day. And within like a week, within a month,
they're seeing results, they're getting monetized, and YouTube is paying them for posting their feelings or posting their thoughts or posting their lessons or posting what they've learned, posting their reflections, like, and that's where I'm at. Is like, I want to be more comfortable with expressing myself, with telling you, everybody, the world, the internet, my trials and tribulations, telling about like my feelings, my thoughts, my mental state. Like, I feel like shining a light, for me personally, shining a light on those anxieties kind of help whittle them away. It's like the whole monster in the closet syndrome, where like you think there's a monster in the closet, but it's not. You turn the light on, you flash the light on it, and it's nothing. It's just your clothes. So it's really just your anxiety. It's your mind just making monsters up. And that's what I feel like this is what it's doing for me, is that it's shining the light on the monsters that live in my head. The monsters being anxiety, embarrassment, shamefulness, indecisiveness, inconsistency, the list can go on. But those monsters, I feel like if I talk about it, it'll get me monetized. No. If I talk about it, it will really help. It will really help people, because it helps me seeing other women and them talking about their trials and tribulations and seeing how their mindset had shifted with just being consistent. It's just like, damn, like, it's really just about showing up. And even if we don't have nothing to say positive, then that's okay, because we're not always going to be 100%. There are going to be the low days where we have little energy, where we have taken so many L's and like we just don't have it in us. And that right there is true authenticity, where it's like we're not Instagramming it. I feel like Instagram is just like literally highlights, like the highlights, whereas YouTube is more like the lowlights. Like you can see it all. You see the highlights, you see the lowlights, and that's what I at least want for me. For me, my content on Instagram isn't really showing lowlights, honestly, and I'm just like, I don't even know how to even do that right now. It'll come to me when it comes to me. And whereas YouTube, like speaking like this before I go to bed, holding my mic in my purple comfy, I feel like this is the time where I can be real with you, and like I know that it's going to help someone out there. And I know it because I can actually see that it is already helping people. I think since me putting myself out there of getting fired, I think it was like my November 30th video, since that video, I have gotten quite a bit of responses in the DMs, all private, of just like, thank you for sharing that. I'm going through something similar. Thank you for sharing that. I really need to hear that. And it's like, it's helping. It's helping. It's me. It's just me being real. It's just me being real. And that's all I really wanted to shine a light on. And that's all I really want to talk about tonight. But that's it for me. I'm going to bed. I want to wake up early and get to it. We got a lot on our to-do list as far as drop shipping and my website and ads. And we need to have a sharp mind. Sharp mind. That's it.